Welcome back to The Silent Truth, where real stories and life lessons come alive, not with loud noise, but with quiet impact. If you enjoy these stories, don't forget to subscribe and join us as we dive into another tale that may just change the way you see people and relationships forever. This story isn't about wealth or poverty, but about trust, respect, and the unspoken agreements that keep relationships balanced. It's about how one lie can break down trust, and how sometimes silence and action speak louder than words. It all began with what seemed like a simple dinner invitation. She told me she had everything covered, that this time she wanted to treat me, and I believed her. We'd been together long enough that small promises like these were supposed to mean something. It wasn't about the money, it was about the gesture. Sometimes it's nice to feel appreciated without the expectation of always being the one to provide. When she first suggested the dinner, her words were confident, almost playful. She said, "Don't worry, I've got it tonight, my treat." I didn't argue, I didn't insist. I thought maybe she wanted to surprise me, to give back a little, to show that she valued me beyond just the usual. But little did I know there was something else behind that smile of hers, something she didn't say out loud, a plan I wasn't aware of. The night of the dinner came. She dressed beautifully, carefully, like she was preparing for a show. We arrived at the restaurant, an upscale place, one that I knew she usually wouldn't pick if she were paying on her own. The kind of place where the menu doesn't even bother listing prices because if you have to ask, you probably shouldn't be there. Still, I trusted her words. She said it was her treat. And so I sat back, watched her order the most expensive dishes, appetizers, drinks, and desserts. She was laughing, talking, glowing with energy. She didn't hold back. I stayed quiet, my thoughts circling but my mouth shut. When the meal was done, the waiter came with the bill. That's when the truth revealed itself in the most uncomfortable way. She looked at me with that coy smile, slid the bill toward me, and said, "You've got this right." At first, I thought she was joking, but her eyes didn't flinch, her hands didn't move, and her body language screamed expectation. She had lied. She had set me up. The words she had said days ago, the promise of treating me, it all dissolved in that moment. My chest tightened, but I didn't want to make a scene. The people around us were talking, laughing, enjoying their evenings. And there we were, sitting in silence with a bill between us. Now here's the thing. I wasn't angry about paying for dinner. I'd done it countless times before, and I could have easily done it again. But I was angry at the lie, at the manipulation, at being tricked. It wasn't about money, it was about principle, and that's when I decided to do something she never expected. Without a word, I reached for my phone, opened my banking app, and froze my card. A simple tap. Done, the waiter returned, standing politely, waiting for a card. She gestured at me, waiting for me to pull mine out. I simply leaned back, crossed my arms, and said nothing. The silence was heavy. Her smile faltered. Her eyes widened. Finally, she reached for her purse, fumbling. She pulled out her own card, but I could see the hesitation. Her hands shook slightly as she handed it over to the waiter. That glow she had during dinner was gone, replaced by panic and embarrassment. The waiter walked away, and she looked at me, whispering sharply, "What are you doing? Why aren't you paying?" And that's when I spoke slowly, carefully, making sure each word carried weight. "You told me you were treating tonight. You said it with your own mouth. I believed you, but when the bill came, you passed it to me. That wasn't fair. That was a lie, and I don't pay for lies." Her face burned red. She tried to laugh it off, saying it was just a joke, that she didn't mean it seriously, but jokes don't come wrapped in expensive dinners and manipulation. Jokes don't leave someone feeling used. The waiter returned, handing her receipt back. She signed quickly, her hands stiff, her face tight with forced composure, but the silence between us said more than either of us could. When we left the restaurant, she tried to talk. She tried to explain. She said she thought I wouldn't mind, that I always pay anyway, that it was just expected, and that was the breaking point. Expectations built on lies aren't expectations. They are traps. I told her, it's not about the money, it's about respect. If you wanted me to pay, you could have just said so. I wouldn't have minded, but you chose to lie. You chose to play me, and that's not something I can just overlook. She was quiet then. Maybe she realized the weight of her actions, maybe she didn't, but for me, the decision had already been made. See, relationships don't crumble because of one dinner or one argument. They crumble because of the little cracks, lies, broken promises, manipulations. And once those cracks appear, it's only a matter of time before the whole thing falls apart. After that night, things were never the same between us. She tried to patch it up, tried to act like it wasn't a big deal. But it was, for me it was, because if you can lie about something so small, what else can you lie about? Weeks later, she reached out again, apologizing, saying she didn't mean to hurt me. But by then, I had already seen the truth. Trust, once broken, doesn't just magically return. It takes years to build and seconds to destroy, and sometimes the silence of walking away speaks louder than any words of apology. This story isn't about dinner. It's about honesty, respect, and the value of keeping your word. Money comes and goes, but integrity, that's priceless. So, the next time someone makes a promise to you, pay attention. If they keep it, appreciate them. If they break it, remember it's not about what they failed to give. It's about what they revealed about who they really are. At The Silent Truth, we believe every story carries a lesson. Tonight's lesson is simple. Promises are not currency. They are commitments, and when someone breaks them, they show you their truth. Thank you for watching. If you've ever been in a situation where someone lied to you just to get their way, share your story in the comments. Your voice matters, your truth matters, and together we can learn from the silence between the words. This has been The Silent Truth, where stories are more than entertainment. They are reminders of the power of respect, honesty, and action. Until next time, stay silent, stay strong, and never forget, the truth always speaks, even when you don't.